Jerry-O, welcome. This is Gunnar Emery. This is the Solution to Everything podcast, episode 2. We're going to be recapping from episode 1, and then we're going to take a deep dive into the quantum world, and we'll just keep streaming from there. This is the Solution to Everything. All right, so let's start how we always start, by inviting spirit in. Just take a moment to align with our heart, sending a cord down into the earth, sending a cord up to the Father Sky or the Unity Consciousness Grid, and receiving and centering within our heart space, where we shall invite the Ascended Masters, the beings of light, extraterrestrial star beings, etc., for support and for guidance for this podcast. All right. So let's be our goofy selves today. Let's get a little bit wacky, a little bit kooky. We've got a full moon, our last full moon coming up of 2020. Let me just recap from last time. We talked about principle number 1, everything is energy. What is energy? What generates energy? Well, everything has or contains an atomic structure, and around the central portion of the atomic structure, we've got our neutrons and protons and our electrons that oscillate around it at a certain speed. That's generating the energy. So those speeds can move in a very, very fast oscillation, which is going to create a lower density but a higher frequency, or it's going to oscillate in a slow, a very dense or high density. I'm going to drop it down low, okay? Then we have our second principle that we talked about, which was the double slit experiment from last time. I'm just going to summarize it for you. The recap is that basically, which is not basic at all, it's very complex, extremely complex, but basically what we found through quantum physics is that our observation as a being alters and shifts the observation, i.e. the experiment. So the scientists' beliefs actually affect the experiment itself. So what does that do? Ooh, that's pretty big. That's a big statement, and actually it's been proven by science, so we can say for certain that all the science that we're conducting right now on this third dimensional level, in some way, I won't say it's all invalid, I won't do a huge generalization, but I will say in some way it's invalid because of this principle, because the scientists or the researcher, their own beliefs affect the experiment. Now, we've kind of dove into a little bit of that with the placebo effect. It's not quite understood. They're not tying that quite in yet with the placebo effect, but let's get that straight. Okay, so the third thing that we need to go into before we drop some new stuff into our episode 2 is we need to drop the clothing statement. It's, hey, if you like this, what I'm saying, try it on. Feels like a nice cozy sweater. It's a good piece of clothing. Keep the sweater. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with your vibrational field, that's what we're going to be talking about in a second, then take it off. It doesn't resonate with your being. Please don't leave any dislikes or hate comments. Take it off. I'm not going to tell you I'm the expert or the guru. I'm just dropping knowledge. And if you want it, take it. If you don't, leave it. I don't mind. All right. So let's go into how we can apply the principle number 1, which is everything is energy. Let's apply it practically to ourselves and how we can use it in our daily process. So if everything is energy, let's just go to our body, for example. This is fascinating to me, by the way, y'all. This is my heart and my passion. So if I talk for 2 hours about this, don't don't leave me hate mail, but I'm trying to limit it to about 10, 15 minutes here so you're not having to really dig into it. Let's practically apply everything as energy to our body. That means our body is vibrating at a certain rate. Remember, we talked about all of our electrons are vibrating or oscillating at a certain rate. Or they could be, it's like the musical tone. And some beings on this planet are vibrating very high up in the crown or even beyond. Some beings are vibrating very low. Why is this important? It's because that vibrational level dictates how you interact with the reality itself. Whoa, that was a lot. That vibrational field that you interact with dictates how you interact with the reality itself. For example, as a lower density being, as a being that vibrates on a lower density, we can associate with this. We're not going to, try to color this experience, but we can associate it with more of a denser energy, kind of like depression or anger. These aren't bad things, they're just energy. Anger, depression, I won't even say it. Pandemics, wearing, it's so heavy to carry, grief, oh my God. Whereas if we flip it up and we go a little bit higher, you can even hear my voice at the time. Joy, the vibrations start to pick up speed. That's the emotion, emotion, energy in motion. Emotion, energy in motion. That's joy. That's what we experience. Happiness, lightness, etc., etc. So let's apply this to our goal as beings. We're trying to color this experience. We're trying to understand why we're here, what we're doing right now. So as vibrational energetic beings, we're trying to let go of those lower densities. These really manifest as anger and as really heavy habits. Maybe a lot of us even put on a bunch of actual weight to protect ourselves. That's like the quintessential thing of a low density. We're doing that because we're trying to protect ourselves. Okay? So we're actually trying to lose that, not just physical weight, but emotional, mental weight, so that we can rise in vibration, in frequency. And as we rise in vibration and frequency ourselves, our interaction with the reality around us will start to shift, because our perception of the reality will start to shift as we rise in vibration, as we rise in frequency. Okay? So, what are some of the ways that we can do this in a practical way, in a simple way? Not all of us are going to be meditating 10 hours a day. You don't need to be doing that. In fact, most people will not be doing that. What I will recommend is just improving 1%. So what does that mean? It means start now and do a minute of meditation. Start now and eat one healthy meal. Start now and read 2 pages of your book tonight. So as you start to set goals, set things that you're capable of doing. Just build 1% over time. Do it one day and one day. That seems to me the easiest and best way to do it. Some of you will take it on and try to do 100%. Probably a lot of us will try to, now I'm going to do this right now and try to ascend and become enlightened as soon as possible. Well, that's what we want. If you got that desire, you got that drive, you got that passion, the energy is available to you. Okay? Just want to repeat that. If you have the passion, you have the desire, and the willingness, and the blueprint for your life is available, and you say yes, get ready, because you'll be taken on a ride, and your whole entire life will shift very, very quickly, if you want it to. Only if you want it to. It's a free will planet. Okay? So I think that's probably pretty good for this nice little short stream. let's just go ahead and recap. Principle 1, everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. And as we oscillate, the electrons oscillate, they oscillate at a certain speed. And how that applies to us practically is that our body is then energy. That's energy. We can conclude that our body is energy, and that our goal is to raise our energy, to raise our vibration frequency from a low density, a slow density state to a high, or sorry, to a high density state to a lower density state. I always get that confused. So high density, heaviness, to low density, very light, free flowing. And what we can associate that with is high density are high emotions, habits, physical weight, grief, anger. Oh, these are so heavy, hatred. Ooh, whoa, we really get into that. And next time we'll share what we can really do. But we're wanting to shift up into frequencies of joy and passion and love, etc., etc. And what we gave as a practical advice is just improving 1%. Just go 1% each day and do a couple minutes of meditation, eat one healthy meal, talk to that friend, talk to that family member. Just do 1%, and you'll find yourself in a very unique position in a week, in a month, in a year. And this will be the commitment of a lifetime for everyone. So, with that being said, thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste. See y'all next time.